Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. And we always are so thrilled to have you with us and join us when you can live for sure. And we appreciate that. We understand not everybody can do that, but we enjoy a live audience. And Andrea, I must say, you're number one today. Kathy, John, good morning to you. Okay, Beverly, New Brunswick, how are you? Nativity, good morning to you. And Rosalinda, Niagara Falls. There's Brahim. You didn't even make the top 5 or 6, Brahim. Sandy from Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Laurie from Alberta, good morning. Janice from Brampton, thank you for coming on. And Jocelyn, Sturgeon Falls, bonjour. Nellie, how are you? Jeanette, good morning. I didn't see that name. Went up, but it's from Saskatchewan. Rain Cloud, Michigan, good morning. And I can't see. Linda, oh, those Lindas. Annette from Nouveau Brunswick. Maureen, how are you? From Boca Raton, Florida. And West Virginia, that was Cheryl, I think. Peterborough, I missed. Dave, how are you? And Jeanette, how you doing? And Ibrahim's blaming the internet. Laurie, Cambridge. Denise, Oakville, good morning. Sherry, oh, if I could only sing, Sherry. Diane, Thunder Bay. And Gertie, Burlington. Gary from Bolton. Mary from Newfoundland. Norma from Medicine Hat, Alberta. Frida, how are you? Maria, Ottawa. And Yvonne, good morning from Petawawa. Rita, Wasaga. Little Britain, who was that? Claudette Hamner, right in our backyard. Fran. And Gloria, New York. Carol, West Virginia. Lorraine, BC. And Lorraine from Oshawa. 2 Lorraines in a row. Anne, how are you? And Kim, good morning from Dowling. Arlene, how are you? And who was that? I missed it. Oh, in the clouds. And Karen, Sue, Saint Marie. And Vince, how are you, from Fort Lauderdale? But who was with you? Leela, Werner, Kevin. And Wanda, Virginia. Oh, we love it. Okay. And I'm going to say hello to Doc McEwen, John, Dave, and who else went from West Virginia there? Shaz, Carol, and Faye, how are you? Okay. Let's do this morning. Okay. I had someone ask me about iron infusions, what I thought of them, okay? And look, let me break this down, and we've talked about this a fair amount, but I got to go over it because it's a big problem in our society today. And, well, actually, iron is a big problem in our society today. Most of the time, it's too little in women, okay? And guys, I'm just making a generalized statement. Exceptions for sure, okay? But generally, let me say this. Low iron is an epidemic amongst women today. And high iron is an epidemic amongst men today, okay? Low iron in women, much more than ever. And we'll give you the reasons why. And men, much more iron than they need. So, guys, we all need iron. You need iron to make red blood cells. You need iron, and without red blood cells, guys, you got no oxygen. Without any oxygen, you're done. And let's do a little bit of a dive on iron this morning, okay? Let's do a dive. Now, why are women low? Well, some of it is obvious, right? Especially women in their menses years, blood loss. You lose blood, okay? And of course, but I saw one of the biggest reasons for big time trouble with iron is something that I saw, especially in the last 20 years or so of practice. Okay? It changed. There was always heavy flow. There was always women who came in and had trouble with menses. Okay? Big time. But in the last 20 years of my practice days, it was worse and worse and worse. Why is that? Well, one of the reasons, too much estrogen. And brought to you by the world we live in, okay? There's way too much estrogen. And when you have way too much estrogen, you got hormonal imbalance. And I can tell you that it shocked me. Young girls. I remember a few 8-year-old girls who started menses, who started with their periods, for heaven's sake. These poor girls. And they were already developed. Estrogen. We live in an estrogen-dominant world. And why is that? Well, look at our environment, okay? People are worried about the climate. I'm worried about our environment. Much more. Why is that? Because anything, any chemical, the microplastics, what was I reading again on microplastics? It's in everything. Between your herbicides and your pesticides and your microplastics and the accumulation of that in our body, it mimics estrogen, guys. Too much estrogen, too much of a woman. The overproduction of estrogen compared to progesterone. And you got women that are heavy periods. And another issue is PCOS, polycystic ovarian disorder. Too much estrogen combined with too much insulin. Estrogen, growth hormone, insulin, growth hormone, and you get polycystic. 28%, I read. 28% of women in North America, listen to this, have PCOS, polycystic ovarian disorder, which is often characterized by also with heavy periods, major blood loss. So you got estrogen, you got insulin. And then I just don't know how many thousands of times I saw endometriosis. Again, growth. The endometrium, growth. Too much estrogen. And huge problem today. Okay? That can create, obviously, blood loss, iron, a deficiency. And one of the things Anyway, that's one, okay? Those are some reasons. Another one is, I talked to you about this yesterday. You know, we live in a world that's gone stupid. Okay? I don't know if you knew that or not, but we live in a world that's gone stupid. In a lot of things, by the way, but here's a stupid thing. People, women especially, are avoiding red meat. Again, I went through all this yesterday. Young people especially, they bought the lie. Red meat's no good for you because they're worried about the climate. So they want to, you know, Bill Gates and others want to get rid of cows. Oh, I get a migraine, guys, like you would not believe. I shouldn't let it bother me, but it bothers me. It's so, the world is gone stupid. And, you know, the environment is a big problem. Okay? But getting rid of cows, they want us to eat crickets. And unfortunately, red meat consumption is down just since the 1980s by 30%. It's silliness. Where are you going to get heme iron? In spinach? No. But see, people bought the lie. Spinach is better than steak. No, it's not. Not even close. There's no comparison. The iron in spinach, Popeye lied and people are dying. Popeye didn't get strong by eating spinach. He got strong by eating steak. And when you eat spinach, okay, good for you. But don't rely on that for iron. It's not heme iron, first of all, and it's about 1% bioavailable compared to heme iron. You know, you gotta eat steak or liver. I'm sorry. It's facts. Ma'am, just give me the fact. And so because of the people are duped, and then, you know, it's all over the internet. It's, you know, red meat bad, live on fruits and vegetables. They talk about the pH, you know, oh, your pH, you're going to make yourself alkaline, you know, and, you know, and they don't even think it through for 1 minute. Like, red meat's not acidic. It's just not. Your body has the most wonderful buffering system. Okay? Your body knows what to do when you eat steak. You got sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. Your body makes it. What your body wants more than anything is nutrient-dense food. All your vitamins, all your minerals, all your amino acids. Your body was made and designed for it. But people got duped, and now we got anemia coming out our ears in women. Look, guys, I didn't even have to test women. I could. I did. But I knew it before I did the blood test. All I had to do was the eye test. Oh, hello, Casper the ghost. Women would come in. Young girls too come in. And I go, hello, Casper. What? You look like Casper the Ghost. Just look. I could see anemia. Oh, and how many times? My doctor never said that I was anemic. Okay. You are. Okay. Are you tired? Yeah. Are you weak? Yeah. You get headaches? Yeah. Do you get, restless leg syndrome? Yeah. Shortness of breath? Yeah, I get that too. Dizziness? You know how many people come in and they suffer with arrhythmias? Man, you're low iron, man. You're low iron. Am I? Yeah. And I used to do a blood test. I could show them right there. Okay? You got no blood. You got red blood cells, but there are not many of them. There's several symptoms. Vertigo, a lot of times. Hair loss. Okay? And of course, hypothyroid, big time, has an effect on anemia. And again, if you don't do a full panel, a lot of times they would miss it. So, it's your ferritin or your, it's within normal limits. Yeah, I know, but that's enough for a mouse, not for you. And then today, what happens today, of course, is that doctors rarely ever test for B12 because they don't think it's important. They've lost their way. Doctors have lost their way. Why? They don't check B12 properly, and they don't check vitamin D. Okay? They don't check it unless you don't have osteoporosis. Why do I got to check your vitamin D levels? Because it's the most important vitamin in the universe, the vitamin D, and right next to it is B12. Okay? B12. 80% of the population or more are walking around with low levels of vitamin D. Nobody told them, and B12. Nobody told them. I got normal B12. Normal ain't good. You need optimized B12. But we got a big problem today. Even another symptom, insomnia. A lot of times is low iron. And look in the mirror. What do you see? Pale as a ghost. Casper, the ghost. Okay? So, my biggest issue with iron was trying to get people convinced. Okay? And like I said, mostly women, not always. I've seen men with low iron. But usually that's not an issue with them as much. Okay? Again, too much iron with men. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. Why today do we have a problem of what we call hemochromatosis? Leave it up to medicine to give it a big name that nobody understands. Too much iron. Okay? Two reasons, and they both come together. Fatty liver and insulin resistance. Okay? The liver is all packed up with fat. It's got no room. And when the fat is packed into a liver, you accumulate iron. Fatty liver. Too much iron. Okay? Now, you don't want too much iron. Oh, let me go back to too little iron. One of the problems, okay, and I saw this a lot, okay? Oh, how's your menses? It's all right. Or even in menopausal women with low iron. And sometimes they were eating steak. Okay? Not enough usually, but they were eating it. And they were low in iron. I said, well, you got chronic inflammation or a low-grade infection. See, iron, your body competes for iron when you have inflammation going on. So that can knock your iron down. Women with autoimmune, I often had to give them our multi-nutrient to top up the iron. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, let's get back to the heavy iron, too much iron. Again, usually men, not always. Fatty liver, the liver is the key. And insulin resistance. When your body says you're a carboholic and you're not listening, okay, you have to do the reset to find out that you were a carboholic, okay? Because when you do the reset, you realize, holy moly, I didn't realize how many carbs I was eating. And when you're doing the reset, of course, you're emptying your liver. You're taking all the fat out of your liver. Bye-bye. Okay? The fat is gone. And you got space now in that liver. Now your liver is functioning properly. It will, do you know what your liver will do? It will chelate, meaning it will get rid of iron. It'll get rid of heavy metals like mercury and lead. Your liver is your detox organ. The best way to make it work is to let it be empty. Okay? You don't need to fill your liver when you eat sugar, especially high fructose corn syrup. This is why I scream against it so much. Its destiny is off to the liver. And then it packs up that liver with fat. Okay? Think bear. What? What are you talking about, Doc? Well, fructose. How do you think bears get through the winter? They pack up with fructose. They eat those berries. I read this. We live in Northern Ontario. We actually have signs on our highways telling us, don't feed the bears, okay? I even got the t-shirt. I've got the t-shirt to prove it. Don't feed the bears. I don't know if the government thinks we're stupid in Northern Ontario. I don't know. I never asked them. I should. Why would you need a sign not to feed a bear? Like, here, bear, here's a little snack. Are you kidding me? Don't feed the bear. Anyway, you see, the bears, I've read this, it, must be true because I read it. Bears, about a month or so before they go to bed, or maybe two, they start packing up on berries, blueberries, right? They can eat, listen to this, they can eat up to 30,000 blueberries in a day. Why are they doing that? To pack up their liver, to make it fat, and fat everywhere else. Because when the liver's got no more room, you just put on fat. Thus, I always scream against not berries. I don't scream against berries. You can have berries. You're certainly not going to eat 30,000, are you, in a day? But you can have some blueberries. Northern Ontario blueberries are some of the best blueberries in the world. Wild. The bears go crazy over them. But they're packing up for winter. They're packing up their liver. But when you pack up your liver, you got a good chance of getting hemochromatosis or high iron. You don't want that. That ain't good. High iron can be toxic. Okay? Low iron kills you, and high iron can kill you too. Okay. Now. Okay, what blood test should you get? If you're not 100% sure, do the eye test or get someone else. Sometimes, it's mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? Sometimes when you look in the mirror, you don't see. Okay. You remember that? What was that? Was that Snow White? Or I can't even remember anymore. But I laughed at that one because I used to tell that to my patient, like, what mirror are you looking at? Doc, I'm not anemic. I said, what mirror are you looking at? I can see. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So what do you do? If you're low in iron, please start eating red meat. Have steak. I know you can have blackstrap molasses, but that ain't near what a steak is, okay? And besides today, we got a big problem with insulin and that, so I'm very careful about telling people to get, what my grandma used to say, blackstrap molasses, okay? And, but they were eating steak in those days too. So, look, the best iron, okay, is heme iron that you get in steak. Now, what we do in our blood boost, formerly called blood boost, now called multi-nutrient liquid, we put iron biglycinate, okay? It's chelated already, that iron. What's that mean? It's already been broken down, ready to be absorbed. And by the way, okay, I'm not a big guy on just iron, okay? That's why steak is so good for you, because it's got look, iron needs, when you really want to build your blood, okay? You really want to build your blood. You need a lot of things to build your blood. Iron, yes. B12, yes, 100%, okay? But you need other nutrients surrounding that. That's why I love a steak. You got all the B vitamins. You got selenium. You got all your trace minerals, and it's a perfect food. But that's why, look at our multi-nutrient. You know what we do with that? I got 40 different. Everybody's screaming at me. They can't read the label. They're mad at me. Don't be mad at me. I got to put everything that's in there on a label, and in French and English. You got to take your magnifying glass out to read it. I'm sorry, but those are the rules of Health Canada. They got big rules, and we got to follow them. And I know, not easy to read. But if you look at what iron we got in there, we got iron biglycinate. I was never big on iron pills. Never. Okay? Just because they're not absorbed very well. But I like our liquid multi-nutrient for that, with iron biglycinate. Okay. Now, okay, I think, let me see here. Yeah. I'm just about done. Okay. Okay, so, oh, by the way, another thing that I saw with this, I have to tell you this symptom because I forgot it. Okay? Frequent infections. Guys, if you don't have your blood topped up, if your blood's not topped up, you're going to get sick a lot. Low iron. That's important. Low B12, important. And do I have to say it? Low vitamin D. I'm telling you guys, it's an epidemic today. Crazy. Okay. But again, low iron is a big problem. High iron too, but low iron for women is a major issue. Major issue. Okay? So when you look at your blood work, they got to do a full panel. Like not just your ferritin. Okay? Not just your ferritin. Total iron binding capacity. Get all that. I mean, you need that to really look at it. But you know what? Like I said, do the eye test first. Do the eye test first. And if you need to get on iron, get on the multi-nutrient liquid. I'm telling you, it'll build your blood like nothing else. Nothing else like it on the market. Okay. Okay, what's Friday? Question and answer Friday. I always talk about it because people always asking, how do we get Dr. Martin to answer our questions? Well, the best way is to have it answered on Friday, often Mondays too, by sending it in to info@martinclinic.com. Okay, info@martinclinic.com. Folks, tell everyone about the Doctor Is In podcast. A lot of people can't watch our lives on Facebook. Okay, they can't. They can watch it later, or these are turned into podcasts on the Doctor Is In podcast on your favorite smart device. Be smart and listen to the Doctor Is In podcast. You can re-listen. Okay. Do you ever get tired of me? Don't tell me, you're going to hurt my feelings. Okay. Guys, we love you dearly. Talk to you soon.